Hello everybody and welcome back to On Point HQ and my video response to Chilling Wargamers I Am a Wargamer series. Now I was nominated by Dom over at Boots on the Table, and it's one of these community kind of response series. I really enjoy these. I think they're really great for like Dom said in his video, for getting to know people. So I'll be answering the 4 questions that have been set, and hopefully you'll find them interesting, entertaining, amusing. Just a quick note on my companions here. I won't be showing any pretty funky figures in this video, so I thought I'd bring these guys along, as I'm prone to do when I do videos of this nature, them being my legal representatives and all. So on to the first question. How did I get into the hobby? Well, I've always been a fan of toy soldiers. I come from a military family, and I think I had my first bag of plastic toy soldiers when I was something like 3 days old, or something ridiculous like that. So I think we all went through that phase when we were younger of just playing with toy soldiers. But for me, my sort of entry into the hobby was back in 1991, when a good friend of mine and his cousin got into this, which is Warhammer 40,000, the first edition, and he just showed it to me, and I'd never seen anything like this. I was completely blown away and instantly hooked. So we started playing that. It was right about this time I joined my local war games club in the town that I grew up in. Every Tuesday, 6 till 9:30. See, still remember it. But from the original 40k, we started to play Confrontation as well, which was kind of a really kind of more dystopian, darker version of Necromunda. It was given away free in 3 or 4 issues of White Dwarf back in the early 90s. So we started playing that, and then in the mid 90s we started to get into Warhammer 40,000 second edition in 1993, I believe that was, and then Blood Bowl in 94. So the 90s, the early to mid 90s, were really my formative hobby years. It was what got me hooked on gaming, and we played up until about 1998, 1999, and then it just sort of fizzled out for a lot of us. I think at the time 3rd edition had just come out, and I think it's about 1999, 2000. Might be a bit later, but nobody that I knew was interested. So I just sort of walked away. I walked away from the hobby. It was all my friends had kind of they'd fallen out of love with it. I don't know what it was. I think all our games became really samey. So we were scattered to the 4 winds, and that was the end of the hobby for me. Up until 2004, when ironically I got back in contact with them. My mate had got me into 40k back in 1991, and by this time him and his cousin were playing Flames of War, and I was instantly hooked when I saw this. I was like, wow, it's toy soldiers, World War II toy soldiers, like I grew up playing, and it's a war game. Fantastic. So from then on, I was back into the hobby, and back then I primarily played Flames of War and War Machine. But I think it was more from that point I kind of drifted into the more historical side of things. I still dabble now with fantasy, sort of with Blood Bowl, because it's one of my it's one of my all-time favourite games. I absolutely love Blood Bowl. It's just so much fun. But yeah, so it was more all historicals, and then a fateful day back in 2014, I discovered Bolt Action, and my world changed forever. Because if you've seen any of my videos on the channel, you'll know that I'm a bit of a Bolt Action Warlord Games fanboy. I absolutely love the game. It's my game of choice, and I've been playing it now for 6 years. So sort of how did I get into the hobby? It was sort of two phases. Back my formative days back in the 90s with Games Workshop and 40k, and then sort of mid 2000s onwards with Flames of War into Bolt Action in 2014. So that's how I got into the hobby. So next question: why did I start my channel? This is a great question. It all started because of a Facebook page. Back I can say what, maybe 3 years ago, I had literally no attention span. I couldn't. I mean, I know a lot of us wargamers, we really haven't, and we jump from project to project and from gaming period to gaming period throughout history. But I literally didn't. I never got anything finished. It was just constant projects that were being started. Then I'd be distracted by something new and shiny, and I just wouldn't get anything done. So I sat down with my regular gaming opponent, and we just said, well, because he was going through the same thing. So we just said, let's set up a Facebook page where we can plot what we're doing. If we can see visually how we're progressing, it might keep us motivated. And you know what? It did. It was amazing. We started banging out quite a lot of figures. And then in 2018, late 2018, I thought, you know what? I'm going to take the plunge. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And initially, I was very hesitant. I was a bit scared, really, of putting myself out there. I didn't know what was going to happen. But I thought, well, what's the worst that can actually happen? So I started the channel, and I don't regret a single thing since I did it. Excuse me. It's just been a complete eye-opener for me. The community, for one, fantastic. I'm privileged and grateful to know so many great people through this community. It's just such a friendly, helpful, supportive and positive community. And on the hobby side, I've got a lot more done. It's no exaggeration to say that I've painted more in the past 18 to 20 months or so than I have in the previous 3 or 4 years. That's no lie. I've got multiple bolt action armies. I just paint a whole lot more, knowing that I've got a channel that I can show things off, and I can get feedback and support and guidance from other people. I think I was just painting them and putting them away. I don't think I'd be as prolific or as motivated. But no, having the channel, it's fulfilling. Is exactly why I started it, to keep me motivated, to keep gaming, to keep hobbying, to keep painting, to keep discovering new channels, new techniques, new processes. That's why I started the channel, and like I mentioned before, I don't have a single regret about doing it. It's one of the best things I think I ever did. Sounds corny, but it's one of the best things I ever did, was the decision to start my YouTube channel. So on to question number 3, which is an interesting one. Where would I like to go with my channel? I've never really thought about this. I'm actually very happy and content with what I'm doing now, which is using the channel as a sort of hobby blog of what I'm up to, and just showcasing what I've been doing. I've started to do how I paint, so different kind of, I wouldn't call them tutorials, because I'm not, let's face it, I'm not the best painter in the world, but I'm enthusiastic, which hopefully counts for something. But it's those type of things that hopefully will keep people engaged. I think that for me, that's the biggest thing. Where I'd like to go with the channel, just a continued engagement with people, with some great hobbyists out there, some really fantastic people as well. I've got no designs for world domination with the channel. It's just not my thing. I just like having somewhere where I can go and I can hobby and I can engage and speak to people I've never met, but I would genuinely call friends of mine through the community. So if I can keep doing that, that's where I'd want to go with my channel. On to the last question. Excuse me. What advice would I give to someone thinking about setting up a YouTube wargaming channel? I'm going to echo Dom's sentiment again here. Just go for it. Just do it. Just start making videos. We all have to start somewhere, and it's always that first video. You're never gonna start off with multi-million pound production values at the beginning of your YouTube journey. I'm still largely using the same bits and pieces that I started with, and it's just getting out there. It's having a go, seeing what you can do. What I would say is don't be scared, don't be afraid. There is so much community support out there. that there's more positives than negatives to doing it. And that's what I would say. It would just do it. Just go out, make a video about something you painted, something you want to paint, just showing something, anything. Just do it. Just get out there into the community, and I'll honestly say you won't regret it. This community, I mentioned it before, is so supportive, so engaging. There is literally nothing to lose in getting out there and having a go. So yeah, my advice would be, have a go. Just do it. There's nothing to regret about doing it. I certainly have no regrets about setting up my channel. It's been such a fantastic journey, and I would imagine that happens to, especially in this community, most people start on that journey, and it's fantastic. I find it so entertaining on a daily basis. It's just really good. So yeah, to sum up, that was a bit of a ramble. I will admit that was a bit of a sort of a motivational speech ramble. But what advice would I give? Just do it. So they're my 4 questions. So who am I going to nominate? I'm going to nominate 2 people. I'll have to go back and check to see whether they've actually done their videos. I'm a bit behind on my subscriptions at the moment. So the first is going to be Lee from the Battle Bunker gaming group. His channel, it's him, Mel and Jamie, some of the nicest people you'll meet in the community. They really are, and the passion and the enthusiasm they have for the hobby, it's infectious. It really is, and their channel is really good. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Go and watch their content, subscribe, and just enjoy what they do. Such a diverse array of videos and gaming systems. So yeah, Lee, Mel and Jamie over at the Battle Bunker gaming blog. And my second is going to be James from JVC Painting. I just, again, the enthusiasm that James has for the hobby, it's infectious. You can't help but feel enthused once you've watched one of his videos, because he does so much, and the level of detail he puts into his projects is just fantastic. And I also love his chaos halfling army. That's always something very new to me. I've never seen before. I always enjoy his updates. So yeah, guys, if you've got this far in this ramble, they're my 2 nominations. So that's it. That's my I Am a Wargamer response video. If you've got any comments or questions for me or the guys here, just leave them in the sections below. But as always, thanks for watching. Do take care. May your dice roll well, and I will catch you all in my next video. So bye bye for now.